Eminem.
The best.
Lloyd Banks.
Cool.
Tony Yayo.
That's my boy. Loyalty.
50 Cent, the rapper.
Still got it, man.
50 Cent, the television producer.
Just getting going.
Future.
Oh, talent.
Nas.
The best.
Jay-Z.
Good business.
Everyone knows 50 Cent and Jay-Z never vibed right. And now with new drama spinning around Jay, 50 didn't waste a second to jump in. He's finally saying out loud what he's been hitting at for years. This ain't random. He's already seen one untouchable friend fall, so in his eyes, the so-called Basquiat impersonator might be next. The beef that refuses to die. 50 Cent versus Jay-Z. Let's rewind to where it all began. Back in 1999, 50 was the global mogul we know today.
$5, who the f*** is 50 Cent?
The big homie wanted to look like a gay painter.
He was still Curtis Jackson, the guy who survived getting shot 9 times and refused to back down. He was grinding hard on the underground scene, chasing a breakout moment. And that moment came when he dropped How to Rob, a bold, satirical track where he imagined robbing famous rappers, Jay-Z included. It wasn't a real threat, but a clever stunt to get people talking, and it worked like crazy.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. Where's Jay at? He's mad quiet.
Jay said, they said I the 13-year-old. Let's go watch Mufasa. Everybody get dressed.
Jay-Z, riding high off albums like Volume 3, Life and Times of S. Carter, didn't take it lightly. He felt some kind of way about being name-dropped, and he made sure everyone knew it. During Hot 97's Summer Jam in 1999, Jay came through with a freestyle response and delivered one of the most iconic bars in their entire feud. That moment stamped their rivalry in hip-hop history. But here's the twist most people miss. When 50 was once asked to describe Jay-Z in just a few words, he said, good business. That's it. Not the best, like he said about Eminem and Nas. Not loyal, like Tony Yayo. Just good business. Every word 50 drops is strategic. The man doesn't talk by accident. And get this, back in 2003, during a Rolling Stone interview, 50 actually admitted he took Jay's response as a compliment. He said when Jay acknowledged him, it made him feel validated. Now that's wild, right? See, if Jay-Z hadn't fired back, maybe things would have turned out way different. If he ignored someone he didn't think was hot, maybe 50's rise would have been slower.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those fucking trophies, trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
This guy. You're gonna let him say that? Jay was getting Grammy.
he had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Oh, Lord.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
But Jay responding, that was like lighting a fuse. In a wild twist, Jay-Z's diss actually helped 50 blow up. And when he blew big. By 2003, 50 was unstoppable. He just signed with Shady Aftermath, and his debut album, Get Rich or Die Trying, took over the game. It sold over 9 million copies in the US alone and gave us the timeless hit In the Club. The streets were bumping it non-stop. The clubs couldn't get enough. Even radio stations couldn't resist. Everyone was rocking with 50. Even Jay-Z could see what was happening. In a 2013 interview on The Breakfast Club, Jay admitted he warned his Rockefeller crew, Benny Siegel, Memphis Bleak, that 50 was coming for the top spot. Jay told him straight up they had a short window because 50 Cent is on the way up. Just a few months later, In the Club dropped, and boom, it was game over. That track dominated everything. Now you'd think with that kind of tension, the beef would explode into something wild, right? But nah, surprisingly, it didn't go that route. Instead, 50 and Jay found some middle ground. In 2003, they actually co-headlined the Rock the Mic tour and even teamed up for a Reebok commercial, freestyling over In the Club. Fans were shocked, seeing them on the same side, at least for a moment. But come on, it's 50 Cent. He can't resist a little jab. Later, he bragged that his G-Unit sneakers outsold Jay-Z's C. Carter line 6-1. That's classic 50. Even when it looks peaceful, he's still keeping score. He watches everything, remembers every move, and never lets a moment slide. Fast forward a few years, and both of them started leveling up beyond music. By the mid-2000s, they weren't just rappers, they were bosses. 50 was diving into TV production, expanding his G-Unit empire, while Jay-Z was building Roc Nation and becoming what many called the blueprint for hip-hop business success. But here's the catch, that tension never really died down. Even after collabs like Jay jumping on the remix of 50's I Get Money in 2007, the competition was still there. By 2008, 50 started throwing slick shots again, this time at Jay's music and his personal life. And then 50 dropped a comment that had everyone talking.
You're not wrong. At the same time,
You got them shits, you start drinking. His pictures fucking thing's the cup.
wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades.
Because he's no longer viewed as what, like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
50 Cent once said something that had the whole industry buzzing. He claimed nobody really knew who Jay-Z was before Beyonce. Let that sink in for a second. Jay-Z, the man with multiple platinum albums, one of the most respected MCs in the game, being told his fame only skyrocketed because he married the biggest pop icon on the planet? That's a bold statement, but 50 stood on it. He wasn't just throwing shade either. He doubled down on that claim years later. According to 50, Jay's evolution from a street rapper to a high-class businessman didn't happen from pure hustle alone. Nah, he said it happened because of who Jay married. In 50's eyes, the Grammys, the headlines, the fashion deals, and even the global respect, all that came after Beyonce entered the picture. Now let's be real, Jay-Z fans weren't happy hearing that, but 50 didn't care. He was just getting started. Because what he's been saying recently about Jay and his links to certain questionable situations, that's where things start getting wild. 50's not just poking fun anymore, he's digging deep into the power plays behind the scenes. And here's where the story flips to something way bigger, the Super Bowl controversy. This one had the internet on fire. The rumors, the comments, the Basquiat talk, it all ties into what 50 calls the Super Bowl sabotage. So picture this. It's 2022, and the Super Bowl halftime show is set to be one of the most iconic lineups ever. We're talking Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, and Kendrick Lamar all sharing one stage. This wasn't just a show, it was a celebration of hip-hop's legacy, a moment to honor the culture that shaped generations. Now, naturally, anyone would think 50 Cent, one of the biggest artists Dre ever produced, would be an automatic pick, right? Nope. According to multiple reports and even 50 himself, Jay-Z tried to keep him off that stage. And that's where it gets messy. For those who don't know, Roc Nation, Jay-Z's company, has been running the Super Bowl halftime show since 2019, making major calls on who performs.
So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay, so I think people are just gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you gotta remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy. I'm like,
wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl?
You didn't know that? Yeah, he didn't want.
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some hater shit. Yeah,
I remember Eminem was like, I'm not going to do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted him there.
So when 50 found out there was talk of him being blocked from performing, especially when the whole world was watching, he wasn't about to stay quiet. That's when he started speaking out, connecting dots, and hinting that Jay might have tried to freeze him out of the biggest event in American entertainment. It wasn't just about music anymore. It was about power, influence, and legacy, and 50 made sure everyone knew it. So basically, Jay-Z had some serious pull over who got to touch that Super Bowl stage. His influence was heavy. Like, if Jay didn't co-sign you, chances were slim. Then Tony Yayo, 50 Cent's G-Unit brother and Day One Ride or Die, came forward and dropped some real insider info that had people wide-eyed. According to Yayo, Eminem, 50's Day One homie and the man he signed him to Shady Records, had to put his foot down hard. He told them straight up he wasn't doing the Super Bowl unless 50 Cent was part of it too. Now that's loyalty for real. That's the kind of brotherhood you rarely see in this industry full of egos and backdoor deals. M stood on principle, and that move changed everything. But it doesn't stop there. When 50 later hit up Big Boy TV to speak on the whole situation, he didn't hold anything back. He said the NFL told him they supposedly had issues with him, but 50 had no clue what they were even talking about. Like what issues? The man was confused, and then he dropped a bombshell that had everyone talking loud. Here's the breakdown. Basically, 50 hinted that Jay-Z, the guy he mockingly calls the big homie, was actually the one gatekeeping the show. The official story was that the NFL had concerns, but 50 wasn't buying that at all. He believed the real problem wasn't coming from the league, it was coming from Jay himself. And when 50 found out that Eminem had to personally call and threaten to back out unless he got included, that's when 50 decided to turn things up a notch. He saw it as proof that there was more going on behind the scenes, and once he realized that, he wasn't about to stay quiet.
I wasn't in the ad because of look, Jay-Z and them was putting it together.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL had some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are.
Things were just getting heated. Then 50 took things all the way left by dragging Jay-Z's obsession with Jean-Michel Basquiat into the mix. Basquiat, the legendary neo-expressionist artist, has always been someone Jay publicly admired and even styled himself after, from his hair to his art-inspired fashion. But 50 flipped that narrative in his own savage way. He called Basquiat a gay painter and threw shade at Jay-Z for modeling himself after him, basically implying some slick stuff that had the internet going crazy. Social media lit up with debates, memes, and think pieces, everyone trying to decode what 50 really meant by that jab. It was messy, controversial, and classic 50, hidden below the belt just to get people talking. But then Tony Yayo stepped in again, offering real insight into why this feud still runs so deep. He explained that back when G-Unit was on top, they weren't just hot, they were untouchable. The power of Eminem, Dr. Dre, and 50 Cent together was unstoppable, a force the music industry had never seen before. That level of dominance, it changed the balance of power in hip-hop, and some people, Yayo suggested, never really got over that, which might just be why this tension between 50 and Jay-Z still simmers to this day.
50 was always competition for niggas. Then remember Jay said, yo, 50's coming. He told Siegel and them, and Memphis Bleak and all them.
Yeah.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You gotta remember, he came after niggas. He came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came. And people might shit on G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro.
Yeah.
Nobody has had the effect that we had.
That kind of success, that level of dominance, it always stirs the pot. It breeds competition, jealousy, and straight up tension. And according to 50, Jay-Z never stopped seeing him and his crew as a threat, even decades later. The rivalry might have cooled in public, but behind the scenes, 50 swears it's never really gone away. And check this, 50's not the only one calling Jay out these days. Cameron, another New York legend, recently threw his own shot, saying Jay-Z loves money more than hip-hop. That line hit hard. Cam pointed out how Jay showed up at Tom Brady's Hall of Fame ceremony, but skipped out on major hip-hop 50 events that celebrated the culture he helped build. Tony Yayo co-signed that take too, saying the difference between Jay and 50 is night and day. Jay stays distant and unreachable, while 50 still moves with the fans, hits the streets, and keeps that raw connection with the culture. It's that contrast that keeps people talking. One's building billion-dollar deals, the other's still speaking the people's language. But of course, 50 didn't stop there. He went after Jay's music too. Back in 2017, when Jay dropped his introspective album, 444, 50 wasn't impressed at all. He even posted and later deleted an Instagram video clowning it, saying, I listened to Jay's 444. That shit was too smart.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going with like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. You know, so I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally is that those accusations.
I felt like I was supposed to be wearing glasses and a sweater around my waist. He laughed, calling it Ivy League shit, and dubbed it golf course music. Basically, 50 was saying Jay had lost touch with the streets, that his music didn't hit like it used to, and was now made for the rich and polished crowd instead of the hood that built him. The internet went wild over that post. Classic 50 trolling with a sharp edge. Then, in September 2022, 50 hopped on X, formerly Twitter, and addressed the tension again, writing, "Young Guru, I love you niggas too. I just need somebody to compete with. It makes me find a way. Jay knows I'll always find a way." And honestly, that line sums up everything about 50's mindset. This rivalry, it's his fuel. The competition, the tension, the back and forth, it's what keeps him hungry and sharp. Whether it's business, music, or legacy, 50's always looking for a challenge, and Jay-Z just happens to be the perfect rival to keep that fire burning. Love him or hate him, 50 Cent has always used Jay-Z as fuel to keep pushing harder. That rivalry isn't just personal, it's motivation. But let's be real, all that industry competition and lyrical jabbing is one thing. What 50's been saying recently about Jay-Z and certain serious allegations, that's a whole different story. Here's where things get intense, the allegations and what 50 called the Mufasa moment. When asked about the situation surrounding Jay, 50 said something that made everyone stop scrolling and start paying attention. Let's unpack it. 50 admitted that when he was joking online asking, "Where's Jay at?" during all the chaos, he didn't really get why Jay-Z was being so quiet. But now, according to him, it all makes sense. 50 claims his team already knew what was coming, that his name was about to be pulled into something huge. And then, in true 50 fashion, he added with a smirk, "I hope it works out, because with his family, the things going on internally, those accusations are crazy." Now here's what actually went down. In late 2024, a civil lawsuit was filed accusing Jay-Z of assaulting a 13-year-old girl back in 2000. The story spread fast, shaking up social media and news outlets everywhere. But only a few months later, in early 2025, the lawsuit was withdrawn after recordings surfaced suggesting that the accuser might have been influenced by her lawyer to include Jay-Z's name in the case. Jay-Z has completely denied all the allegations, calling them nothing but a blackmail attempt. He's even countersued both the accuser and her legal team for defamation, making it clear he's not backing down. The case is still in the courts, and no criminal charges have ever been filed against him. But just when things were calming down, 50 did what 50 always does best. He made it viral. Not long after the story broke, Jay-Z was seen attending the Mufasa movie premiere with his family, looking calm and composed. And what did 50 do? He jumped straight on Instagram, dropped a post about it, and instantly set the internet on fire. The timing, the captions, the shade, it had people talking non-stop. Within hours, the post exploded across social media. Fans arguing, blogs reposting, everyone dissecting 50's tone. Some thought he was trolling, others said he was exposing something deeper. Either way, 50 knew exactly what he was doing, turning real-life headlines into a viral circus, and once again, proving that nobody plays the internet game like him. 50's post straight up mocked Jay-Z for showing up to a family movie premiere just days after those heavy allegations hit the news. He didn't hold back at all, basically painting it like Jay was trying to spin a family man image right in the middle of the storm. And while some fans defended Jay, saying the event was already scheduled and he probably had to show up, 50 wasn't buying that one bit. In his eyes, it looked way too calculated. To 50, that appearance wasn't coincidence, it was damage control. He saw it as Jay trying to clean up his public image, smiling for cameras and keeping things light while the internet was buzzing with serious questions. 50 thrives on moments like that. He loves exposing what he sees as PR moves disguised as authenticity. Now, when people flip the script and come for 50 Cent, saying maybe he's got skeletons hiding somewhere too, he shuts that down immediately. 50 makes it clear he's not worried about any secrets coming out because he's got nothing to hide. He even points out that if anyone had real dirt on him, they'd have spoken up by now, especially with all the eyes always watching his every move. But the real jaw-dropper came during a recent interview when 50 got hit with a direct question about Jay-Z's connections. You know who they were talking about. The question was simple, but loaded. Does 50 think Jay-Z knew what was going on? That moment changed the tone completely, because how 50 answered next had everyone leaning in and talking for days.
Happened the same day, bro. What's the day came out the day before, the next day?
I was eating Raisin Bran. Okay, I'm eating Raisin Bran. I got my daughter in my arm. I'm scrolling. Right? I see somebody screenshot your shit is Jay and the whole family at the Mufasa fair, and then the comment is 50 Cent. Jay said, they said I the 13-year-old. Let's go watch Mufasa.
Everybody get dressed. We're going to see Mufasa right now. I just think it was a good look, like angling yourself as
a family man.
Yes.
But they had to go to the premiere,
that
bro.
was planned already.
They had to go to the premiere.
Did you catch that? When 50 Cent was asked straight up if Jay-Z knew what you-know-who was allegedly up to, his answer had the whole room frozen. 50 said, no matter how you answer that you snitching. That's a loaded line, and it hit heavy. He didn't say no, he didn't defend Jay, and he definitely didn't confirm anything either. He dodged the question in the slickest way possible, leaving everyone with more questions than answers. But here's the part that 50 wants people to understand. In his mind, he's not just stirring the pot for laughs or clout. According to him, he's calling out the real and the fake in hip-hop. He says his goal is to separate the good energy from the bad, to expose the ones who taint the culture while protecting those who keep it clean. 50 wants to make it clear. He's not hating, he's holding people accountable. Still, there's one big argument that keeps coming up whenever folks talk about this never-ending feud, the money gap. Jay-Z's reportedly sitting on an estimated $2.5 billion, officially hip-hop's first billionaire. Meanwhile, 50 Cent's fortune sits somewhere around $40 to $50 million, still major, but nowhere near Jay's level. Some critics love to say that 50's constant shots are fueled by jealousy, that deep down he's salty watching Jay build this massive empire while his own path had ups and downs, from business wins to public bankruptcies. They see it as envy, plain and simple. But 50 fires back hard at that idea. He said time and again, it's not about money. For him, it's about morals and accountability. He doesn't believe wealth should ever be a shield against criticism or truth. In 50's world, no amount of success should make anyone untouchable, especially if there are serious accusations in play.
Oh, why?
Because you don't got nothing.
I don't have it.
All right.
There's no girls gonna come out.
Why you sound skeptical?
Because I think there are some women that are like, no, I think there's some women that are like,
This guy's supposed to be from Queens.
Let me cut fucked up experience.
You kick him off the corner.
What I'm saying is I know a couple of exes that
So where does that leave things now? This isn't just about bragging rights or album sales anymore. It's way deeper. The ongoing feud between 50 Cent and Jay-Z has evolved into a battle over legacy, integrity, and what hip-hop really stands for. 50's made himself the loud voice in the room, the one willing to ask the uncomfortable questions that everyone else avoids. Whether people love him or can't stand him, one thing's for sure, he's not backing down anytime soon. And with each move Jay-Z makes, 50's watching, ready to remind the world that this rivalry is far from over. Now, here's where things get even spicier, because while everyone thought the tension between 50 and Jay-Z might finally cool down, recent moves suggest this story is far from finished. Behind the scenes, both men are still playing this high-stakes chess game, one move at a time, and it's all spilling into the public eye again. After the whole Mufasa premiere situation, 50 didn't just move on, he doubled down. He started dropping slick captions, cryptic posts, and even hinted that he's working on a new TV project inspired by real-life power struggles in the music world. You can guess who fans think that's about. The man knows how to stir curiosity, and every time Jay's name pops up, 50's engagement skyrockets. Meanwhile, Jay's silence has become its own power move. While 50's been loud, Jay's been strategic, letting his business wins do the talking. New reports claim Roc Nation is working on another massive global deal, one that could push Jay into billionaire territory once again, even higher than before. And that, of course, only makes 50's obsession with calling him out louder. But insiders say it's not just about money anymore, it's about legacy control. Jay's trying to cement himself as hip-hop's refined mogul, while 50's determined to remind everyone where the real authenticity came from, the streets, the struggle, and the raw grind. They represent two completely different versions of success, and that clash is what keeps fans glued to every headline. And don't get it twisted, 50's not stopping at posts or interviews. Word is, he's been planning a documentary-style special that digs deep into power, fame, and industry secrets, possibly even touching on certain billionaires who forgot the block they came from. If that's true, this could reignite the feud like never before. Social media's already split, some saying 50's keeping it real, others calling him obsessed. But if there's one thing 50's proven over the years, it's that he loves being the villain. Every time someone calls him petty, he leans in harder. He's built his brand off controversy, and somehow it always works in his favor. And while Jay continues to stay quiet publicly, the industry whispers keep growing. Artists and execs who've worked with both of them claim that despite all the drama, there's still a weird form of mutual respect underneath it all, the kind only two titans can share. They might throw shots, but they also know no one else operates on their level. So here we are, 2 decades deep into one of hip-hop's longest-running rivalries, and it's still evolving. Will 50 finally cross a line that forces Jay to clap back publicly? Or will Jay keep it playing cool, moving silently while 50 keeps shouting from the rooftops? Whatever happens next, one thing's for sure. When it comes to 50 Cent versus Jay-Z, the saga ain't over. It's just getting started again.
Talking about Jay, proximity to Diddy. You don't think he knew anything? He's seemingly around Diddy.
I don't know. That was a real suburb question.
Yeah, I know, right?
Proximity.
Hold on.
Proximity.
Proximity. That's the SAT hit parade word. I learned that.
Do you think he fucking knew all of the shit that was going on? And that was like a...
I don't want to incriminate myself.
I know, but the way he said it...
Like I said,
no matter how you answer that shit.
Now fast forward to today. The tension between 50 Cent and Jay-Z has turned into something bigger than just words. This isn't just rap beef anymore. It's turned into a battle of empires, where every deal, every public appearance, and every post feels like a power play. 50's been louder than ever lately, especially online. He's been teasing new projects, dropping lines that sound like coded shots, and reminding the world that he's still one of the best at controlling the narrative. Recently, he hinted that his next move would shake up the culture again, and fans immediately started connecting the dots, thinking he might be gearing up to tell the uncensored version of what really happened behind the scenes between him, Jay, and the entire industry machine. Meanwhile, Jay-Z's staying quiet but calculated. Instead of clapping back, he's been focusing on Roc Nation's business expansions, from tech investments to major sports management deals. Every time people think Jay's about to respond, he does the complete opposite. He levels up. That silence is his version of a diss track. But insiders close to 50 say that's exactly what irritates him most, Jay's silence. Because in 50's world, ignoring the smoke means weakness. And that's why he keeps finding ways to pull Jay's name into every conversation, from interviews to award show comments. The man's relentless, and honestly, it's part of what keeps him so relevant. Just last month, 50 went viral again after posting a photo with the caption, "Real ones don't need Roc Nation contracts to win." That one line sent fans into a frenzy. People knew exactly who he was talking about, and even though he didn't tag anyone, it was clear the shots were aimed straight at Jay. But the crazy is, despite all the tension, there's this underlying mutual recognition. Both of them know that they're each other's mirror. Jay's the polished mogul suited up in boardrooms, 50's the street-hardened boss who built an empire his own way. Different lanes, same ambition, both obsessed with dominance. Industry insiders even say that behind closed doors, there's a strange respect between them. They might never admit it publicly, but they've both pushed each other to keep winning. Without Jay, 50 wouldn't have that fire to keep proving himself. Without 50, Jay might not have been forced to stay so sharp. So now, everyone's wondering, what's next? Will 50 finally go all in with a tell-all project that exposes the industry's secrets? Or will Jay pull a surprise move that reminds everyone why he's still on top? One thing's for sure, this ain't over, not even close. Both men are playing for legacy now, and neither is backing down. The next move is coming soon, and when it drops, hip-hop's about to shake again. Now here's the thing, when it comes to 50 Cent and Jay-Z, every silence feels like a setup, and every move feels like a message. Both of them know exactly what they're doing. It's a strategic war of image, influence, and dominance. 50's been in full chess mode lately. He's not just posting, he's building momentum. He's been spotted meeting with streaming executives, dropping hints about a possible docuseries that'll tell the truth nobody else dares to. Fans are convinced he's about to release something major, something that'll shake the foundations of the hip-hop business side. And knowing 50 is gonna come with drama, receipts, and a lot of side eyes toward Jay-Z's empire. But Jay, he's moving like a silent storm. Instead of clapping back, he's been expanding his influence quietly, taking meetings with global brands and locking down billion-dollar deals. It's like he's saying, "You talk, I build." He's turning silence into power, letting his moves do the talking. And honestly, that's what's making the feud even more interesting. Still, the internet keeps fanning the flames. Every time 50 posts a cryptic caption, fans swarm Jay's comments looking for reactions. Every time Jay pops up courtside or at a gala, people flood social media asking, "What's 50 gonna say about this?" It's like the world's longest rap soap opera, and both of them know it. And it's not just the fans feeding it. Other artists have started weighing in too. Some say 50's keeping the culture honest by calling out fake industry energy. Others say he's obsessed, stuck in a loop trying to compete with someone who's already in a different stratosphere. But either way, he's keeping people talking, and that's exactly how 50 likes it. Behind all the smoke though, there's a deeper truth. This whole saga, from How to Rob to 4.44, from diss tracks to business plays, has become about legacy. Both men are trying to define how history will remember them. Jay-Z wants to be seen as the visionary who turned hip-hop into global enterprise. 50 wants to be remembered as the fearless hustler who never sold out, who spoke his truth no matter who it offended. And the wild part? Both are winning in their own lanes. Jay-Z's sitting in boardrooms with billionaires, while 50's turning stories into shows, headlines into hits, and controversy into currency. But mark this, when two legends like these keep circling each other for this long, another collision is bound to happen. Whether it's a lyric, a leak, or a headline, something's coming. And when it does, it's gonna shake the whole culture again. Because with 50 Cent and Jay-Z, peace is just a pause before the next explosion. And the next chapter of this legacy war is already loading.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip-hop culture could think that everybody in hip-hop culture is with that shit.
So by you, you're good, bro. You're fucking good.
Yeah,
He's protecting hip-hop.
Yeah.
If you don't speak out and make them the weirdos, then they're going to think everybody's
Every
like
single
that.
person is like.
At this point, what we're witnessing isn't just a feud, it's a clash of empires. 50 Cent and Jay-Z have both transcended rap, but the difference is how they carry their power. Jay's become the quiet architect of billion-dollar moves, while 50's the street general who never stopped speaking his mind, loud, raw, and unfiltered. And right now, it feels like both worlds are on a collision course again. Lately, 50's been dropping little breadcrumbs online, and every post seems more calculated than the last. He recently shared a photo of himself surrounded by film cameras with the caption, "We telling stories that scare the rich." The internet went wild, instantly assuming he was teasing a new project that might pull the curtain back on the industry's hidden politics. Some say he's ready to expose certain players who've been shaping hip-hop's narrative from the shadows, and of course, people immediately started naming Jay-Z. Meanwhile, Jay's been moving with the calm confidence of someone who's already written his next play. He's been expanding Roc Nation's footprint internationally, signing new global acts, launching charity initiatives, and even hinting at future political involvement. He's not addressing 50 at all, but that silence is starting to sound louder than any diss track ever could. Industry insiders say both camps are aware of each other's moves, and there's tension in the air. Word is, some executives are worried that 50's next project might hit too close to home, especially if he decides to tell unfiltered stories about his run-ins with power players from the early 2000s to now. The man has always said, "I remember everything." And you know what makes this even more explosive? Both of them have something to protect, their legacies. Jay's protecting a spotless image of control, success, and influence. 50's protecting his authenticity, that image of a man who came from nothing and built everything without bowing to the system. Recently, 50 even said in an interview, "They want you to be quiet once you make it, But if I stop talking, I stop existing. That line hit deep because it shows exactly why he keeps going. For him, speaking out is part of survival, and Jay's quiet dominance, that's what fuels him. So now, the question isn't if they'll clash again, it's when. Every time one makes a move, the other reacts, even if it's just through silence or a single post. The industry's on edge, fans are waiting, and everyone knows the next chapter could shift the whole energy of hip-hop again. Because when two titans like 50 Cent and Jay-Z refuse to bow to each other, there's only one possible outcome. Another storm is coming. And when it hits, it won't just shake the charts, it'll shake the culture to its core.
Whether you see 50 Cent as a truth teller shaking up the system or just the ultimate professional troll, that all depends on your point of view. But one thing is undeniable, he's not backing down. Every time people think he's done, he pops up with a new headline, a new jab, or another viral moment that keeps his name echoing through the culture. Meanwhile, Jay-Z has stayed mostly silent, sticking to his signature strategy, power moves, not public arguments. He's continued to deny all allegations, keeping his focus on business, family, and legacy. And let's be real, that silence probably gets under 50's skin more than any clapback ever could. 50 lives off reaction, and Jay refusing to feed that energy, that's its own kind of response. But the legal drama isn't over. The lawsuits, countersuits, and public speculation are still unfolding, and only time will tell where it all lands. What's certain is that this story is still very much alive, and 50's making sure it stays that way. He's still teasing his upcoming documentary, still lighting up social media, and still making sure the conversation never fades. This whole saga isn't just about two rap icons. It's about legacy, reputation, and control of the narrative. Jay's trying to protect his empire, while 50's determined to challenge it, no matter how loud or controversial it gets. These are two different worlds colliding, one built on quiet power, the other on unfiltered truth-telling and fearless trolling. And that's what makes it so fascinating, because both men, in their own ways, are shaping hip-hop's future even while fighting over its past. Every move, every post, every silence adds another layer to a rivalry that's already one of the longest-running and most unpredictable in music history. So, yeah, we might be at the end of this chapter, but don't get it twisted. This story's far from over. 50's still watching, still talking, and still plotting. Jay's still building, still dodging, and still staying 10 steps ahead. It's the ultimate game of power, and the world's watching every move. Now, I want to know what you think. Is 50 Cent really speaking truth to power, calling out the industry's hidden truths and protecting hip-hop's integrity? Or is he just obsessed with taking shots at another powerful black man who made it to the top? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going. If you made it this far, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more wild breakdowns and deep dives into the biggest stories shaking the culture. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss what comes next, because trust me, the next twist in this saga is already loading.